Hello people, my name is Rage and welcome one and all to Evil Genius, one of my all-time favorite games. Now, I am not going to do this game a disservice by trying to explain to you what it is. Simply enjoy the intro movie for this game.
Right, listen up, team. There have been reports of a new player in the underground. We don't know who it is. We know they're organized, motivated, and building a team of henchmen and minions, the like of which the world has never seen before. This person is attempting to become an evil genius.
Sir,
What is it, Perkins?
would you say that the evil genius would have an underground lair, sir?
It would appear not, Perkins. However, I fear it's only a matter of time.
What do evil lairs look like, sir?
Well, Perkins, if I were to build an evil lair, not that I would, you understand, I'd design an evil lair, the like of which the world had never seen. Probably build it into a mountain, Perkins, underground. Throw in a barracks for the men, and a control room to organize the away teams. And a strong room, of course, to store all my ill-gotten gains. Probably have to build some recreation items for the men. They get disloyal, you know, maggots.
Could you build traps, sir?
Hundreds of them, Perkins. Don't want agents snooping around while you're taking over the world. And I'd build a cover operation to hide the base from prying eyes. Camouflage, that's the key.
It's a good thing you're not an evil genius, sir.
Don't be such a damn fool, Perkins. Right, team, you have your orders. Get out there and find me a madman.
Oh yes, guys, is that not utterly charming? I'm so excited to be able to do videos on this game, guys, and bring you along in one of my favorite childhood experiences. So let us go medium, just in case I've forgotten how to, function as a human, which I'll admit is entirely likely. And we have to choose our evil genius. We have Maximilian, short, bad-tempered, and utterly insane. You are the fabulously well. By the way, I apologize in advance for the incredible amount of offense I'm about to give to a lot of you. I promise this is the one and only time I'm going to do their voices, but I really can't resist. The fabulously wealthy industrialist, your ambition is to conquer the world through advanced research and technological supremacy. And then we have Alexis. Take control as Alexis, elegant and beautiful. You are the adorable multi-millionairess. Your beautiful countenance commands the utmost respect and loyalty from those who are fortunate enough to be chosen to be your minions. Shenyu! Take control as Shenyu! Mystical and inscrutable! You are the Kiksuki super criminal turned super agent turned evil genius! Your powerful global network of conspirators ensures you have hidden influence over the governments of the world. And again, I am sorry, but I've always favored Maximilian, so I once again will favor him. Now, each evil genius starts with their own main henchman. Maximilian gets Mr. Samurai blind dude here, who is an absolute badass. So we arrive on our island. You don't need to see this, because, it's just a cool boat scene. So yes, Jubei is our first evil major henchman who has actual badass abilities and is quite the powerful fighter. So this is the island that we start on, and this is the mountain that will house our base. This is the space we have to use. So we simply follow through the objectives, being evil and building a gloriously delicious empire. Yes, indeed. So let us begin with the simple corridor as we go deeper and deeper into the base. I think corridor going down to there, then we have access to all of this space. Seems the most sense. And yeah, do it, workers! Build, you minions! Do as I say! And yes, this is Maximilian. Now, the area around him is his aura of influence. If the evil genius is near his minions, he will inspire them to work harder and do better, for if they do not, they will face many punishments. But yes, Jubei is just phenomenal. I really like him as an evil henchman, I have to say. And we start with a fair amount of money in this strong room. As you can see, piles of gold bricks. But we quickly need to move this inside the mountain if we want to secure our hoard before the pesky forces of justice, as you can see, find us and try to apprehend and kill our noble evil genius Maximilian. They will snoop around the island like annoying little ants, but they will be slain by the noble Jubei. Hopefully, I do not have to use him. Hopefully, they will not stumble across this operation, but is entirely a possibility. Now, the workers are about to explode the dynamite and carving out our wondrous corridor. There we go. Wait, did I accidentally make this corridor 3 wide? Whoops! Didn't mean to do that. Wait, did I mean to do that? I can't actually tell if I meant to do that. Oh no, this is fine. This is correct corridor width. Whew. We're okay, guys. We're okay. We have correct corridor width. That makes me happy. So the first thing we need is to build another strong room to house all of our ill-gotten gains. Now, we only need a little one at the start of the base for now, simply because it's a good place to transfer the starting wealth to. That will get underway, and then we are going to build a barracks for our troops. A nice sizable barracks for now. We can always expand later, and that is the beauty of this game. And then finally, a control room to coordinate all of our operations. Now, we're going to have 2 entrances to the control room, and we're going to make it quite majestic, because it is a very, very important... Actually, no, we'll cancel this room, because what I actually need is to first build a corridor. Don't want it too wide. Actually, I think 3 wide is a little bit too wide for a corridor. Damn. So that's well, it does give me more room for placing traps, to be fair, and traps are the funniest things. You get rewarded for trap combos, which basically means you get rewarded for putting agents through the most massive amounts of torture, like air jets blasting them into inferno pits, which then knock them into piranhas. They jump out of the piranha pit screaming, and then they end up in like a saw blade, and you just get massive amounts of props for doing it. Now, I can't help notice that the agents over here are a little bit uncomfortably close, which means Jubei is going to see his first taste of combat. Go! Slice them down, and here he is, fighting. Now, don't worry about Jubei, okay? Do not worry about him. He will be glorious, for he is incredibly powerful, and, you know, the agents are trying to punch him for some reason, despite him having a sword. Now, when an agent of justice dies, they leave behind an annoying body bag. How inconsiderate of them. And we must place this body bag in the freezer, for if we don't, the forces of justice will discover the body bag and send more and more guys to stop us. We also don't want them to rot the place. I mean, come on, we do have health standards here at Evil Rage Industries. So let us build the freezer there, and then command the construction of extra corridor space in order to reach deeper parts of the base. We'll just do one massive long corridor. That way we have a good amount of access for the future. Build it onto there, and you know what? We will extend. Actually, can I do that? Yeah, I feel like that should be corridor. Like, why is that not? There we go. That's the whole room. Someone has to excavate that. I feel like it's a massive waste of resources, but I'm not going to worry about it. I will unpause these rooms, and actually I am going to edit the blueprints of this freezer just to get the full width, because space usage is important. Not just because it must always be OCD worthy, no, but because it needs to be the very best, like no one ever was. So let us put our briefcases in here. Right near the entrance is best, because in order for a minion to buy an object or room, they have to go grab a briefcase full of money, take it to the depot, and grab whatever it is I have requested. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, let me know if you like this style of commentary that I'm going for here, because obviously I do know a lot about this game, so I like doing this almost roleplay type. I don't know, I just love getting involved and being... Just from little things, like calling them the pesky forces of justice. It makes me happy, you know? So let me know if you do like this kind of style, as opposed to my normal, more Should not describe my commentary style like that. RageGamingVideos! Ho 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 ho! That just sounds so weird. Okay, Mr. Evil, you need to get into the base where you are a lot safer, and then in the strong room, we will build a door. We will, in fact, build a door everywhere because A, doors look a lot better than empty entrances, and C, I don't know what happened to B, actually, now that I think about it, but that's okay, I guess. It's a lot more secure for our friends, the forces of justice. Now, the wind trap machine is exactly what I was talking about. It comes out the walls and just them back down the corridor. So I am going to use probably a poison gas machine, but the thing is about the poison gas thing is that actually your own minions can get caught up in it if they're not alert enough, if they're sleep deprived or exhausted. They will end up getting beaten by your own traps, which is of course kind of awkward because you kind of need them, because without their little insignificant footsteps, our base would not be constructed. And this is how the minion screen actually works. You start out with basic workers, and they can go down a military, science, or something path, I've forgotten the free paths, and end up very specialized and end up as very different types of ultimate minions. But at the moment, they start as basic workers, and I'm going to use my money to attract more minions in order to increase the speed at which I am building everything. Now, lockers increase your maximum amount of minions that you can get, so I am going to be getting quite a few of them because, of course, they are rather useful. Here we go. See, you got to arrange it nicely. You got to remember, you got to have a nice arrangement for the men. Otherwise, you know, they're going to get all rebellious, and you know, the last thing we need is rebellious workers. So this is quite a nicely laid out barracks for this stage of the game, if I do say so myself. But yeah, everything is always quite a slow start. An evil genius, which is good because otherwise, you know, you would get swarmed by the flies that are the agents quite quickly. And here, if we go, we can see lots of different statistics. I normally really don't bother with that screen, to be fair, and you'll see that once we successfully build the control room, we get access to the global interface where we can start doing nefarious evil missions around the globe, and they are really quite cool, especially stuff like, for example, shrink-raying the Eiffel Tower and stealing it just to have a show-off piece of loot in your base. It's just lovely. Now, I really do need more workers, so I'm going to have the recruitment every second just so I can quickly grab my 5th worker. The more workers you have, obviously, the more work that gets done. That makes sense and is easy enough to follow. So basically, this is mostly just a watch them run around and unlock gear. Now, I love this. It's just a crate and then boom! And now that we have got more lockers, we can suddenly find ourselves with more capacity, at least once we get a few more. One means nothing, really, just one. Actually, I really thought I would get more now that I think about it. So here is the freezer rack. This is where we put the bodies that you saw, and yeah, it's quite grim. There will just literally be hanging corpses on these freezers, but I'm okay with that. I call it new age decoration. Boom, 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 boom. Speed of sound in the underground. The lyrics of this song I can't sing. I have no idea what I'm talking about, really, now that I think about it. But it's all good, and what you can do is alert. No, let's not actually. It's not actually put high alert on it. It really scares everyone, and it's quite worrying, actually. I don't care, woman, with your video tips. You think I don't know how to be an evil genius? Bitch, I have been training my entire life for this moment. You will not stop me. So yeah, generally speaking, if we just follow the various tasks, we do progress with the story, because this game does have a distinct story, and it is actually really quite good what happens, and eventually you start facing enemy super secret agents, like, for example, James Bond will make an appearance if I become nefarious enough that they have to send the top spy, which is always quite nice. We have bunk beds and lockers, but of course workers are doing things in an order just randomly dictated by AI, so I can't specifically be like, make the fracking this room, because I'd have to cancel the build on everything else, and that kind of messes with their little brains. So now that we have a capacity of 12, let us hire more of them. Now, this is costing a lot of money to hire guys this fast, but at the start of the game, it really, really helps to get things as fast as possible, and we really need to get rid of these bodies, because as soon as more agents arrive on the island, I mean, to be fair, you know, a massive pile of dead bodies is kind of suspicious just randomly on the middle of an island. But yeah, as you can see, the rack is quite crowded, which is why I want to move the storage over to here, and then I can just get rid of this room. But for now, because everything else is constantly in use, we're not really going to be able to do that. And more lockers, yes, yes, more lockers. And let us up the load for workers that we would like. Yes, indeed, there we go. And then we'll let them come in slowly, because 12 should be enough to get most things underway. We do have the racks coming in, which will start getting those going. Jubei is just doing his... Jinbei or Jubei? I don't actually remember. What's your name? Sir, what is your name? Jubei, that's the one, and he does learn some cool moves later on, and he's got some impressive stats. But the thing about your super henchmen is, if they die 3 times, they are gone for good, and you really don't want to let that happen, because they are invaluable tools. They really, really are. Okay, come on, come on. Oh, I've remembered the 3rd tier of minions. It's social minions, like spin doctors, who try and edit the news to make your evil acts not seem quite as evil. I'm really annoyed by this corridor, though. I am. But the thing is, I'd have to demolish it, which would... will be a little bit awkward, because then no one can get to any of the rooms, so I'll just suffer having a free wide corridor for now. This will probably be an extended barracks when I get more objects, because what's cool, guys, is throughout the game, you get scientists, and you actually start researching new and better equipment. And I won't say much in terms of a spoiler, but I mean like progressing from bunk beds to having cryogenic sleep chambers for your workers to actually rest in. So you do get some really cool advanced tech. There's loads of rooms, there's loads of gadgets, loads of minions. It gets so in-depth and so awesome, and I absolutely love it. I really, really do, and I hope you guys are enjoying this as well, or at least finding it interesting, because it truly, truly is. Alright, we are slowly but surely getting there. This is about to finish building, which is, ow, good, and we now have our fire extinguisher, just in case, you know, of fires. Now, what's annoying is they feel like putting the fricking bodies just directly in the entrance to the freezer, which is just terrible planning. I mean, really, who decided that that would be a good idea? Some sort of evil genius? Ha! Pathetic, Maximilian! What do you think you're doing? You just stood there thinking you're so good with your really, really fancy, impressive suit and your shiny bald head and your monocle? You think just because you're so fancy you couldn't be stupid? Well, I've got news for you. You can. You can. And the reason you want to put bodies away as well is because it kind of lowers the morale of minions just to see corpses chilling around the area. Okay, we have finally got the detonation charges being placed in this area, and hopefully Mr. Workerman here. And what you can look is everyone gets their own names. This is Mr. Andy Dang, who is currently constructing your base. Now, I could make my own workers capture, kill, or knock him out, but, you know, I'm not going to quite do that. I'm not that evil. We got John Pearson. He's doing pretty well for himself. And we got Rick Murat, who is... you know, old Rick. You know what they say about Mr. Rick. And now we are going on the freezer racks. I just love watching my workers do things and watching the base being built. Like, even if this game didn't have the overarching world map that you'll see soon, and missions and objectives, I'd still just love the base building and watching. Now, what's awkward is we're kind of getting low on funds with only 45,000 left. But do not worry, that will be solved fairly soon. We just need all the depth charges to be placed. And we've got this corridor looking pretty good. Come on. Come on, away you go, away you go, and is explosion gonna happen? Nope, more charges being placed. That is quite awkward. We have a minion capacity of 20. There we go, keep that going up. It's, ow, good. So yeah, we can't really afford to spam get minions at the moment because it will completely drain our funds, and obviously when you're an evil genius on an evil secret island, you can't just go to the bank for a loan if you do run out of funds, so you gotta manage things very carefully, let's just say. Come on, explode the comms room. We really, really need access to the world map because we need to do some thieving. We need to do some thieving really badly. He's very confused because he can't build that door on top of the body bag, so he's kind of just going to stare at them. They're special, the workers. They're worker ants. They're just a hive mind. They're pretty dumb. Yeah, he's just like, fuck this then. And now he's going to leave. Oh, I love them. Normally that would bug me, but it's just the fact he just drops it like, fuck this shit. I don't know how to deal with this. I am out of here. So we need some workers to come and deal with these bodies, which they will do in due course. And here we have the operations room where we can build all sorts of delicious things. Just to start with, we are going to get some control panels, which our workers will sit at and operate our intentions abroad. But for now, I also need to make sure, you've got to make sure that everything is symmetrical. Otherwise, really, you're wasting your time. And we'll have one there as well. Good. Good. Yes, I know where the object is blocked. That's because no one is going to do the fracking. Someone... Oh, it's just really... Heat is how much sort of suspiciousness it's generating, how much infamy. So an object with high heat would alert an agent that something bad is going on. So obviously a body is quite, bad. So I'm going to ask them to move these bodies away from the entrance. That's not, for some reason, letting me. It's not letting me do that. Please, can I just move them? God damn, I hate these workers. They are useless, useless motherfuckers. And we have 500 money left. That's kind of awkward, actually. Yeah, I can't remove the object because it won't let me, game. Why do you do this? There are a few little quirks in Evil Genius that you kind of got to get used to because they do just... Yeah. And if you do not, your gold will be automatically... Yes, I do want to destroy it. I know, the game's just going to keep telling me, you know what, until they get moved, I'm just going to get rid of this. We'll get the money back for it, and I think that's good, honestly. Can we move that? No, it doesn't even let us move that. Sometimes I wish I could mind control these workers, a la Dungeon Keeper, control them, and just manually do the work, because they are useless. And now this is about to be activated, which means... boom! Boom! Do we have memory banks? Oh, we don't have memory banks. Yeah. So we've got our backup funds, which... our evil genius was saving for a rainy day, which indeed today is, and we're about to get memory banks, which means we have all the requirements for global communications. World domination is now available. Indeed. Indicate that trained civilians are holidaying on the island. Capture and imprison the maid in a security holding cell. So now, we have unlocked the ability to hopefully... build... Oh, not quite yet. So we can build a torture chamber. Yeah, it is as gruesome as it sounds. Capture civilians and then interrogate them. Armory, there it is. That's the one, the holding cell. And then when we interrogate them, the minion that interrogates them will learn the skills from the, for example, maid, and then they become a valet, and then they're better at that specific role. So you specialize your minions by forcing them to interrogate and train. Indeed, it's really cool. And then once you've interrogated and unlocked the minion for the first time, then you build a training room, and then they can train other minions, and you get to watch them train each other, and it's just awesome. It really is. So, now that we've unlocked the world domination screen, we really need to start doing some heists. These flags, by the way, are missions to do. So if I was to send some workers here, for example, I'm going to send 4 workers to this country, North Africa, and then over here, ooh, this is steal the library blueprints, which will give us access to building a library. So I will send 2 workers over here as well. And if we have a look at this mission, this only requires 3 workers. Shall we go for that as well? Or would we rather do this? Because we don't want to take too many workers away from the base, because that will weaken us and make production a lot slower. Although we are kind of okay to do it at the moment, simply because we're kind of broke. So let's send some minions to this region as well. How many does this require? 3 workers. And you can send your henchmen, but you have to be very careful not to lose your henchmen in a heist, because everyone you send to go on these missions is at risk of dying if they fuck it up. And workers often do fuck it up because they're not that specialized. And as you can see, I can set them to plotting, stealing, or hiding. Plotting will reveal more missions in the area. Hiding will prevent them from being killed by the agents of justice. And stealing will generate you income on a regular basis. Oh, we cannot afford the memory bank. That is just depressing, you know? That is really, really depressing. Move the dump! This is going to be a thing. If this becomes a series, these body bags being here is just going to become a thing, isn't it? At all times, there's just going to be body bags there. So, have they set off? What's cool is that some workers set off on helicopters, some go on boats and start sailing out to sea, and there's cool little, like, interactions with how they're actually getting places. So no one has arrived yet, which means no missions can we do. And eventually you get your notoriety all the way over to the right, which is like mastermind, and the world is terrified of you, and that's when they start sending super agents, and it's really fun to disarm them, because every super agent has like an Achilles heel. I'm not going to go over them specifically, because it'll be fun when we get to them, but there really is a lot of good stuff to look forward to, guys. Like, really, really is. I don't want your goddamn tutorials. I know how to play this game. I am the most evil of all the genii. I mean, I am a genius, let's be honest, guys. It's like my mouth went, stop lying, Rage. I'm going to choke you if you claim to be a genius one more time. Go work around, see, look at them getting ready to leave the building. And boom. Leave. Helicopter. There we go. Now, I wonder if any have left by boat. No, this is not a mission that requires leaving by boat. So now if we go to the world screen, we can see our workers being dropped off on the map. So, let us go! Mission underway, and mission underway, and mission underway, and can you guess what I'm going to say next, ladies and gentlemen? Mission started! Oh, you got it wrong! Oh! So as long as there is at least one minion alive in the country when the mission countdown ends, you will successfully complete it. But if everyone dies trying to do it, then of course you won't. So we are getting 1500 income every 60 seconds, so we do have to watch out for that. But we did just have a minion die in this region, which is obviously quite awkward. So if I was to add one to here, but then maybe -1 from here, then what will happen is I'll immediately get a reshuffle. We'll pick a minion up from here and drop it off over here. Fishy business. Failed. Oh no, we failed fishy business. Which means now the broadcast will be telling everyone that we're a failure as an evil organization because our workers were killed.
This is Abdul Ayman's guy, reporting on traffic from the top of an elephant. From up here, I can see a tailback ahead caused by a sacred cow in the road. There is also a tailback behind me caused by my elephant. Based on the news from the subcontinent, the evil mastermind has struck again, despite the best efforts of Sable's colonial forces.
I love that so much. The broadcast for missions succeeding or failing are great.
Across all of Northern Africa. Our big story is the shocking raid that took place earlier today. The identity of those responsible is still not known, but Smash is reported to have several leads they are investigating. And now, the weather. The outlook for the Sahara is the same as usual. Drier than a dehydrated clean cracker on a sunbed.
Awesome, so I'm just going to leave these guys stealing so we do actually get our income, although I may transfer them over here to have a go at this now that I think about it, because if I was to put 3 workers in here, but then obviously lose a worker from there, lose 2 workers from there, what it should do is pick up the workers from this country and transfer them over to that one. There you go. And he's going to immediately pick them up and place them there. So we now have 3 workers in this region, which is 1 more than we need, so it should make this mission go a lot more smoothly. These guys are still trying to steal the library blueprints. I mean, really, I don't know what's so hard about walking into a library and stealing a piece of paper, but, you know, they're special. They're lowly workers. Alright, guys, I think that'll do to introduce you to the world of Evil Genius, a deliciously awesome base-managing game of utter. Let me know, guys, if you would like a series on this, because I am more than willing to do it, because, as I said, I love this game. But for now, my name has been Rage. Remember to like if you've enjoyed this, and subscribe for more. In fact, let me know if you want the series by liking, commenting, however you wish to do it. It's totally cool with me, and I will make it happen. So yes, and we did succeed. Yeah, boom. Boom buddy boom. So these guys are going to remain stealing. Those guys are stealing. We probably should send more operatives to the world at large just to steal a little bit more. In fact, what I'm going to do is remove those guys and then add 2 fact, we'll add 4 to here, and they can continue stealing, because this country is quite wealthy. It's got the highest steel number, although, actually, yeah, I mean, what I'm on about, the Midwest has got the highest steel number. I am an idiot, but that's fine. That is, it's fine that I am an idiot, guys. It is fine. My name has been Rage, and goodbye.